like this, and so forgive me. My heart feels like it's about to burst. So, when I think about my relationship with my grandma, I cannot honestly say it was one of closeness or of affection. In fact, growing up, I carried a really strong sense of fear around her. She was very direct, and I have vivid memories of being afraid of what she would tell me. Her words always seemed to call me out. Never, though, without reason, but always straight to the point. I remember moments like when she once asked me, "Who are you?" And someone beside her reminded her that I was her granddaughter. She replied, "Well, she doesn't visit me." Or the time she told me, "How old are you?" And I said, "I'm 13, Grandma." "You're 13, but you dress like you're 30. On my 18th birthday, of course, the big debut, when I finally gathered the courage to ask if I could hold my debut at her home, I even asked my dad if he could ask her, my mom, and they're like, "No, this is your party, you do it." She simply said, "You only called to ask permission." Of course, she allowed. At the time, those words felt very sharp and very heavy. But now looking back, I realized that she always meant well. She clearly wanted to spend time with me. She wanted to have more conversations. Maybe I was just not mature enough back then to understand. But today I see that there is strength in being direct, in being unafraid to say what needs to be said. And that was her kind of love. Tough on the outside, but deeply caring on the inside. And perhaps that's why her words weighed so much. They mattered. And to this day, those memories are still very vivid. Years later, God made a way to bring us closer. I was blessed, I'm still very blessed, that I'm able to put up a school in my grandpa's old office, which allowed me to see her more often. By then, when I started it, Grandma was becoming more forgetful, but also more tender and more approachable. If in my younger years I feared what she might say, and even avoid conversations, in her later years, every small moment with her felt like a big celebration. When she would remember my name, when she would tell me my dad's name, my mom's name, when she would remember that I had a school nearby, or even that Tita Pinky's dance practice happened on Wednesdays. She would remember my grandpa's favorite food and offer me some. After a day at work, I would come to her, stare at her, and anticipate hearing something funny she would say. I loved greeting her with, "You're my grandma." I loved her holding her soft hands. Sorry, it's so emotional. I love staring into her eyes and anticipating what she would say next. Sometimes it would be so random, like, "Who pays your taxes?" Or she'd tell me, "What do you do?" And I'd say, "I'm a teacher." And she'd say, "Who pays your salary?" Often, very often, it's, "How old are you?" And I would say, "Well, now I'm 36. I'd say, "I'm 36. And then she'd ask me, where's your husband? Are you married? And I'd say, no, Grandma. And then she'd say, wala ka ng pag-asa. Those words were short but always so humorous. I love that my students requested to see her. My team also grew so fond of her. In fact, some of them saw her moments before she passed. I do envy that. I envy that they had those moments, but I am so grateful. I am so grateful. Thank you guys that you had those moments with her. In those moments, in those recent years, I built a connection with her that was no longer rooted in fear, but in longing. Now, I long for more conversations. I wish I knew her parents' names. I wish I knew what she loved to do when she was my age. I wish I could hug her more and hear her say, I love you more. And while I wish I had more time to see her, to talk to her, and even try to beat her in mahjong, I am grateful. I'm grateful that she passed down to me not only her strength and really, honestly, her beauty, but also her faith. A faith that assures me that this is not the end. To be honest, I don't know exactly how I feel about her passing. Sometimes I still expect to see her. Sometimes I still expect that when I come to the pink house, we call her house, I would see her. I try to push away the regrets, but I hold on to hope instead. The hope that one day, all things that I long to do with her, those conversations, and again, meeting her in mahjong, will happen again. Grandma, so beautiful still. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for being so direct. Thank you for making me see humor in all of those. And thank you for your love. I will carry you with me. And I look forward to that day that I can tell you once again, hi Grandma, I'm your granddaughter. You're my grandma. Thank you.